I'm Chey. Most people choose their enrichment time. Mine must be strictly enforced. Rollin'. What's up? I can't relax. This is a well-known fact. Blame it on ADHD, blame it on being a workaholic, blame it on whatever you want. I can't relax. At least, not unless I kind of force myself to. I always feel guilty for wanting to spend time on my hobbies, and I think that's a pretty common feeling nowadays. I think a lot of people feel guilty every second that they're not productive. You're not a busy worker bee, you don't have to be productive every single second of every single day. It's okay to take some self-care, to do nothing, to relax. My brain refuses to take in the memo. I have to force myself to do my hobbies, otherwise I'll never do them. And that does sound counterintuitive. It does sound, ironically, counterproductive. But hear me out. Don't think of it so much as forcing myself into fun. I think of it more as structured fun time. A lot of my feeling guilty comes from believing that I could be spending that time doing something else, which is kind of true. But a lot of the times what I end up doing is just sitting there, thinking about what I could be doing, and actually doing nothing. So instead of doing that, I decided to just have an entirely fun day of doing nothing but my hobbies. I looked at my 2 brain cells and I said, this is what's happening.
We're all gonna have fun here.
Also, you can probably hear it in my voice, I am still recovering from my sickness, so that is my other reason for wanting to take it easy and just relax today. It's not going to be super exciting, not super eventful, it's just going to be a kind of cozy hobbies vlog. I always love watching these kind of videos because I'm so interested in other people's hobbies and just seeing their little niche interest and what they love. So I thought, why not make one myself? Looks fun, I need to have fun, it's going to be fun. There's no real plan for what I'm going to do, but generally I'm going to be reading, writing, drawing, working on cataloging my records, maybe building a tiny little Pokemon Lego set. I don't really know. But I'm getting tired of talking, and my voice is starting to give out again. So, let's just get into it.
Reagan bites. Put her on the shelf.
What on the shelf?
The jumper, she belongs to the DA's office.
Says the DA's office.
Says 1 PP in no uncertain terms.
1 PP.
I decided that the first thing I'm going to do is watch some Blue Bloods while I build this mini Pokemon Lego set. I found this at the dollar store, and Luxio is one of my favorite Pokemon. Luxray I actually like a lot better, but Luxio is adorable as well. I've been meaning to build this for a while, I just never got around to it, but now it's the perfect time. So I'm going to sit here, watch my show, and build my Pokemon. I actually already have a tiny little Luxio figure up on my vinyl shelf, so once we finish building him, he's going to go up there next to his clone. I didn't know it was going to come with this many pieces. I sense I may have made a mistake of some kind. Question is, do I attempt this without the instructions? I should not put that in my mouth. I'm already sick. That was a bad decision. You don't know where that's been, Chey.
I tried to teach you how a woman gets things done, and you turn around and... When the bodies are counted in this, don't you come crying at me. Get out of my sight.
Yikes, ma'am.
Welcome to Jurassic Park.
And he is officially done. Look at him. I love him so much. It wasn't as hard as I feared it was going to be. It was a little bit complicated. I got a little bit confused at times, confused a few of the parts, but I figured it out. The instructions were needed. But look at him. Isn't he adorable? They even have his tiny little tail. And he comes with this cute little movable lightning bolt you can put behind him. So let's put him on the shelf, shall we? Get out from under there. Shinx. That's the name. I just now remembered. Yeah, so I have every evolution of Shinx. So I have Shinx, I have Luxio, and I have Luxray over here. What do you say we put this Luxio right next to him? Then we'll scoot over Empoleon. No, don't fall! Put that right there. After a little bit of rearranging, I have come up with this setup. Don't talk to me or my sons ever again. I'm now set up all cozy in my bed to get some reading done. I have some ebooks checked out from my local library that I'm going to be reading on my iPad because they are due back very soon. But first, I am going to be playing a game for a few minutes that I downloaded on a whim because of the annoying ads I saw about it. But I actually like it a lot because it sort of acts like a fidget toy for me. And it also satisfies my love of patterns, and it's that parking jam game that I'm sure that y'all have seen advertised everywhere, where it's this thing, like, can you solve this in, like, 20 moves? I'm kind of addicted to it. So I have my candy popcorn right here, I have my iPad, I'm going to play this game for a few minutes, and then I'm going to get some reading done. Then while my iPad is charging, I'm going to read some actual physical TBR books. We got to another boss level. Oh wow, you can't see it. Okay, hold on. There you go. We got to another boss level. I love the boss levels. They're so much fun. Actually, I'm gonna show you this because I'm so beast at it. Come on, that was too easy. Hello friends, so slight change of plans. I'm not going to read words with my eyes on the iPad. I do have some audiobooks that I also have checked out from the library on that app, so I think what I'm going to do is write some while I'm listening to an audiobook, or at least organize my writing. I have a bunch of stuff that I have copied over because I write on several different apps across several different platforms, and then I copy and paste it all into like a giant Microsoft Word document. So what I like to do is listen to an audiobook while I go through those excerpts and reformat them appropriately, as well as post them in the right document for the story they're supposed to be in. Several different audiobooks that I can choose from. There's one that I haven't even started. Right now I think I'm kind of in the mood for something lighthearted, something easy to listen to. So I'm listening to this audiobook. I think it's like a cozy mystery. More like cozy slice of life mystery. It's called Death Overdue by Alison Brooke, and it's a haunted library mystery. This is the cover. I think it's pretty sick. It's easy to listen to, easy to follow along with. I'm kind of feeling this. I think I'm going to listen to a few chapters in this. I listened to it at 2.5 speed, so I'm already kind of breezing through this 9-hour book. Let's get started on it, and let's get started organizing my writing, because my voice is once again dying. Okay, full disclosure, I spent a lot longer writing than I thought I was going to, but I'm not complaining, because it is one of my absolute favorite things ever to do. Spending key time on the things I love and that I find fun and make me happy was the whole point of this video, whole point of this exercise. Therefore, I'm not gonna complain, because that's just seems successful to me, so why would I complain about it? I even went into that originally just planning on organizing my writing, like I said, but I ended up actually writing, as you'll probably see in the B-roll or whatever. I didn't think I would be able to write while listening to an audiobook, but I did. So I got some organizing done, and some actual writing done. I think next I'm going to do some drawing and sketching while continuing to listen to my audiobook, probably a different audiobook. But sketching and drawing is a skill that I've been wanting to get better at for the past forever. And I've talked about this before. It was one of the first videos that I put on this channel. But since I'm a writer, I also want to get better at art, because I would like to be able to sketch out the scenes that I see in my head. I think that will help me flesh out my scenes better. I think it'll help me move the plot along better if I can actually see it before me. And it doesn't have to be super intricately detailed or Da Vinci level of work. I just want to be able to have a scene that I'm writing in my head and be able to draw it out on paper. I don't know, maybe it's weird logic. I just think it'll help me be able to visualize it a lot more, and maybe it'll even give me more ideas for the actual writing itself, or how it plays out. I know that writing is, of itself, painting with words, painting a picture with words, but I have so many things in my head that I write about that don't really come up in the writing, but I think they're neat, and I want to see them visualized. Like photos that my characters would have on their mantelpiece. Photos that they love of them and their friends on their phone. I guess you could call it more headcanon-ish kind of stuff that helps me build my own story in my mind, but doesn't necessarily make it into the main plot. I want to be able to draw that and visualize that on paper. However, I am not up to the skill level of drawing that I would like to be able to draw that stuff out. Therefore, I must practice and get better. However, my toxic trait is that I don't want to do something if I'm not immediately good at it. And drawing is a skill that I was never immediately good at. I definitely have a little bit of aptitude for it, but it's something that I need to foster and build upon, and I have just been actively avoiding it. So today we're not going to avoid it. We're going to embrace modernity, we're going to embrace not being good, and just have fun. I'm not going to put the pressure on myself to draw something from one of my stories, because like I said, it's not going to be up to my standards, and I'm not going to have a fun time. Instead, right now, I'm just going to focus on doodling. Maybe draw a few simple things that I know I can draw, and just practice some line work. Let's get to doodling. Like I said, I am not great whatsoever, but I haven't drawn in probably like a year. I know it's been at least over 6 months. Just freehanding, not really caring about it, doodling with it. I feel pretty good about that. It's so dorky and stupid. I can't help but love it a lot. A good attempt was made. Not my best attempt, but I had fun doing it. I forgot how much fun it is just to doodle without expectations. That's how I need to work myself up into actually like practicing to heighten my skill. It's just to do it for fun. Okay, that was fun and went a little bit better than I thought it was going to. I have gotten a lot of reading done in my audiobooks, but now I want to get some actual physical reading done. Since I've already done a lot of reading today, I'm not going to spend a ton of time on this, but I am reading a memoir right now. Hold on, let me grab it. I'm reading Burn the Place by Ileana Reagan. I picked this up for a few dollars at a Overstock store, and it sounded interesting, and I've been wanting to read more memoirs lately, and I'm about a quarter of the way through it, so I'm just going to sit here and read a couple chapters, make some more progress in it. I'm really enjoying this so far. It's not quite what I thought it would be, but I am really enjoying it. I don't know anything about this author, which is part of the reason that intrigued me to pick it up. I don't know, something about going into memoirs already knowing a bit about the author can be interesting, especially if it's someone you really like or admire or find interesting. But for me, I kind of find it more interesting to go in totally blind and just discover everything for the first time. I really like this author's narrative voice. To me, it's very easy to get sucked in, to get lost in. Their storytelling can sometimes get a bit confusing with time skips and jumps and the way that things are woven into each other, but it only takes a few sentences for it to make sense again. And I mean, I'm not too mad about it because that's kind of how life works, right? Or at least that's how, when I think of my life, it works, my memory works. I know when I start thinking of one memory, that'll lead to a hop, skip, and a jump to something that seems completely unrelated to a layperson, but it's totally related in my brain. And I'll have to explain the connection to said person that I'm talking to. In that way, I get it. But I can see how that might be confusing for some people. Really enjoying it, really liking it, and enjoying taking my time with it. And now, let's talk about records. I don't know if you can tell. I love me some records. I'm a music freak, a music fiend, if you will, but I have a massive quantity of records. And it used to be very organized, but then I kept getting more and more and more, and it has become sort of chaotic. I used to keep a very simple Google Docs list of all the records that I had, but because my internet access was choppy at most, it was always hard to load Google Docs here at home on my phone, and so I hardly ever kept up with it. Especially as I got more and more and more records, the list just got further and further and further behind. Which, that's a danger, because I don't really know what I have, I don't really remember everything that I have, and it leads to the danger of buying double or buying multiple of the same record. Now, there are some records that I buy multiple of on purpose because of different variants or just because I love that record and I want to have a display copy versus a play copy. But, obviously, I don't want to do that with every single record because that's going to take up a lot of space and a lot of money that I do not have. And I've been meaning to make a new list for a while, but I wasn't sure how I wanted to do it because, like I said, the Google Docs thing didn't really work out the first time around. Instead, what I'm doing is I'm making Google Sheets. Because for some reason that app seems to load a lot easier on mobile internet. And plus, I might have Wi-Fi soon, so that will be even better. But what I'm doing while I don't have internet here at home is I am making a list on the notes on my MacBook, cataloging them. And then I'm going to copy and paste that into Google Sheets. So I have this list set up the way that the Google Sheet is going to be set up. I just have the name of the artist, the name of the album, how many I have of it, repressing or original, and then any special notation that I need to make about it. I did try another attempt at making a sort of Excel sheet about my records, but it was a lot more detailed, including stuff like the runoff numbers and the record label. And to be honest, it just took up way too much time, because I would have to take the record out of the sleeve, each individual record, look at the numbers, enter the numbers, and that is something that I want to go back to, but for now, I just need something basic to prevent me from double buying or bulk buying. I'm going to have this basic list that is going to be easily accessible on my phone, especially when I go record shopping, and then I'll keep the Excel sheet that's super detailed on my home computer, where I can just have it for my own intrigue, my own interest, to see what I have. Alright, let's go grab some of the records. And because I have so many records, I'm not doing them all at once. I've been doing them in batches, just pulling some from the shelf and doing a few at a time to make it more manageable. And that's what I'm going to do today. I'm not going to do a bunch of them, probably just going to pull a handful out and enter them in, but wanted to show you guys anyway. So let's grab some records. So this is what we're working with. She used to be organized. We have 3 layers of shelving. So we have this one, and then this one down here. I'm hoping to replace this eventually because, as you can see, it goes all the way to the edge, and so it's hard to get the records out, especially the records on the edges. But for now, this works. It keeps dust off of them, it keeps them all together, so it's what we're working with. And remember, I mentioned that I do buy some multiples of records on purpose. There's 6 copies of Beartooth's Disease right there. Do not come for me. I've already gotten all of these done. I haven't gotten my singles done, but I've gotten all my 45s done. Now I'm working on this shelf. I'm saving this shelf last to catalog because it is so hard to get them out of there. So let's get to work on this guy. Alright, peepsicles, it has been a fun day, but that is going to be it for me. Nice little cozy day, a nice little fun day. I got a lot of stuff done. Ironically productive for being a fun day. It's weird that I consider doing my hobbies as making progress in them. That's probably an unhealthy mindset and I need to stop that. Which is what days like this are for. Days like this are to help that. How can you feel behind in your hobbies? How is that a thing? I don't know, but I hate it. Wherever you are, I hope that you have time for a chill day like this. I hope you find time to relax. I hope you find time for your cozy little hobbies as well. We all deserve some cozy hobby time. I definitely plan on making more videos like this in the future. This is just a little test run to see how I kind of want to format it, things I want to do, how I want to film it. But it was just a grand old time, all things considered. Thank y'all so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you haven't heard it from anyone else today, I love you. Love and peace.